Hello, everybody. It is Willie and Tommy here live of the Full 40 after a basketball game. After a basketball game that happened, we are coming to you live directly after the Marquette game. Cats won. I believe the score was 76-73, or 75-72, which was the exact score of the Marquette game on the road, too, whatever it was.
77-74.
So we added one to each of them. Okay, so we each scored one more point. But it kind of ended in the same way, too, of Marquette just kind of like chucking a ball down in the last couple seconds of the game. Oh, God. Not great for the old heart right there, the whole heartbeat.
No, certainly not great.
Let's just talk about that game. So the first half of that basketball game, I actually felt pretty good about. Like, I felt we played 16 minutes of really, really good basketball. Brennan was really good in the short pick and roll. We were making our shots. We then, with about 4 minutes left, the wheels started to fall off for us. And fall off was, it's kind of colloquial. We just weren't executing to the level that we had been for the first 16 minutes of the game. Bryce Lindsay had a smoked layup. Brennan had a smoked layup. We just weren't putting them away. We had a chance to get up by almost as much as 10, or we should have been up by as much as 10 going into the half. And we just kind of just petered out. That kind of just contributed through the first 6-7 minutes of the. Oh, you guys can't see my hands, but I'm doing it. The first 6 or 7 minutes of the second half. And then the wheels really fell off. We had maybe our first big drought that we've had all season, where I think we didn't score a bucket for 5 minutes, or a field goal for 5 or 6 minutes. I feel like that's the longest I can remember us having. And then Marquette kind of really began to pick at us. We had some foul trouble. Ben Gold hit a couple of huge corner threes. I'm going to give a shout out to Parham for Marquette, who was absolutely cooking us. Honestly, if he didn't get hurt and hobbled, I don't know if we finished that game out. But it is what it is. He got hurt, and then we were able to kind of we were down 9 at a second. There was one where we were down 9, and I literally I had my fingers on the tweet of the LeBron James standing up and walking out of the press conference. I was ready to click send, and then Perkins hit the first 3. And I said, let me hold on for a second. Just let me hold on before I put my foot in my mouth. And then the rest has kind of just gone down there. But Tommy, what have been your thoughts? We'll get into more, but just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah. I texted this in the group chat, but it was literally the definition of that meme where it was oh boy, I'm excited to watch my team play, and then I'm gonna go play Frogger on 476, and then oh nice, we won. It was that the first half was fine. I thought we did some things well in the first half. It was nice to see. I thought Bryce Lindsay was gonna get back on track. He knocked down the first shot that he took right out of the gate, but that was for naught. But yeah, I mean, no complaints in the first half. Pretty boring first half. In the second half, that's when all hell broke loose a little bit. It was an ugly start to the second half. It was an ugly middle to the second half. Yeah, we went from roughly the 14-minute mark to about the 8-minute mark with no made field goals until Tyler Perkins hit that 3 to kind of break us out of that slump. Yeah, that was the longest I've remembered a slump for this team this year. Story of the second half, really foul trouble, free throws, Duke Brennan getting in trouble, Braden Pierce. We're going to talk about him a lot tonight, who's been a lot better. But when Duke Brennan gets hurt or gets in foul trouble, it's really detrimental for this team on both sides of the ball, rebounding and on the defensive end as well. So, the free throws were horrendous. Go to a local gym around you, YMCAs, some CYO high school teams around the area are better free throw shooters. than this Villanova Wildcats team is. But down the stretch, they did make their free throws. Tyler Perkins and I believe it was Devin Askew, the
Yep.
last two free throw shooters. They went 4 for 4. And credit to Caden Lewis as well. After airballing a free throw, I think he made his next 3. So I'm sure my math is off, but I think down the stretch they went 7 for their last 7 free throws, and
Seven out.
when it mattered, that was good to see.
Yeah. So do we want to start as we talk about this game? Do we want to start with the good or the bad?
Bad.
All right, let's get the bad out of the way. We
Yeah.
kind of already hit on the free throws, but like I want to just double down on and we've talked about this throughout the entire season. It's been a common theme of us not being a good free throw shooting team. But it's to quote just to quote a former wide receiver, it's getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous of how bad these free throws are. Um, I I don't know. I mean, it has to just be practice, but it's almost, and they said this on the broadcast, it almost has to become mental at this stage
Yeah.
because it's like, I mean, the airballing the free throw from by Caden Lewis, who is like, I mean, he's not the best 3-point shooter, but like he's not an airball a free throw person. That's mental.
Yeah.
The misses down the stretch, the Hodge missing, I think Hodge missed all 4 of his free throws. It's a clear problem that for some reason we keep escaping. Like I know, like if you look in like the macro of like, oh, maybe we would have won Creighton if we hit more free throws, all that different stuff. But like realistically, no, UConn, yeah, maybe if we like went from like I don't know what we shot in UConn, but we made a couple more free throws within that game. But like we've truly more or less escaped like the bad free throw, like us like missing free throws down the stretch. That's been the thing that's been interesting. We've
Right.
made most of our misses in the first 37 minutes of the game. And then we start making them, which I guess if there's a place to make your free throws, it's in the last 3 minutes of the game. So, beggars can't be choosers or whatever. But it's kind of been absolutely ridiculous how bad this free throw performance has been. And it's going to hurt us in a game. And we keep escaping it, but like we cannot like keep depending on that. This is going to make us lose a game. We very nearly lost this game because of exactly this. It's baffling how bad the free throws are.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you brought it up in your open a little bit. It's 100% mental at this point. And like I think it was Brian Anderson on the broadcast. He said it's like hitting in baseball. Like when everybody hits in baseball. And when there's a slump, Phillies fans know what I'm talking about. There's a slump for everybody on the baseball team. Marquette, throw some numbers at you. 18 of 20%, 90%. 18 of 20 free throws, 90% from the free throw line tonight for the Golden Eagles. Willie, if you had to guess, where do you think Marquette ranks in the country in free throw percentage? There's 365 teams.
38.
They're 326th. And they shot 90% from the free throw line tonight against Villanova. So, I mean, they're a significantly worse on the season free throw shooting team than Villanova. And they had a night like this. So everything that Villanova is going through, like this team is not that bad of free throw shooters to be this bad at free throw shooting, if that makes sense. It's an anomaly at this point.
Yeah, no, that's like that's the thing. I mean, outside of Duke Brennan, I'll even call a Caden a bad free throw shooter. He just is kind of like a 66% free throw shooter, which like isn't good.
Right.
Everybody else should not be as bad as this is. But down the stretch, Askew was confident down the stretch, made his like very easy. It's just this needs to change. That's just like what it just needs to change. We need to be able to make our free throws down the stretch. I will say another thing I didn't love was I don't think we often I don't think we executed offensively down the stretch of this game. I like in and I don't what I mean is like yes we hit those threes and we kind of were able to do but like our offense outside of the last 9 minutes of the game was like spraying and praying threes and then like a Caden getting downhill once he was able to get there. There was nothing else to be seen. There was no actions driving towards the basket. it really just kind of felt like, and Marquette did a very, very good job of playing pressure defense on us, keeping us one, just doing the token press at half court. So getting it to where we weren't even getting into our action until 20 seconds. But like the amount of times we had the ball with 8 seconds left at the top of the key and we hadn't gone anywhere was like outs, like just astronomical. And some credit should go to Marquette. Like they did do a very good job of us on us there. But I would say a lot more. It's just like the offensive execution was just lacking. This was, I mean, if we're going to talk about like this was probably one of Kellen Willard's like worst coach games, I would say
Yeah,
thus far.
for sure.
Kind of just like felt like we were behind the like asleep at the wheel. And I think, and we'll talk about. I guess I'm going to talk. I guess I'll kind of allude to it. We'll talk more in detail about it maybe later. But like, I think of it as like getting Bryce Lindsey ready or like open and getting him comfortable. It's very clear the 3-point shot isn't going down. He's in a slump, and that's fine. Like he's a good shooter. I'm not worried about him. Like I don't think he forgot how to shoot. He's in a slump. But when you do that, you have to find another way to get him involved. And that would mean getting to the rim and creating rim opportunities for him. And we haven't been doing that off ball at all with him. And so I'm just like, I saw that with him, and I love Lindsay, so I'll always say, like I'll say that I'm always going to think about him that way. But like even with Duke Brennan, like I don't think we really like, especially in the first half, really got him going offensively in a way that I thought like I would like to see out of him. He did fantastic in the short roll, like of him getting other people. He was like absolutely fantastic. But it was just one of those games where I was like, this just doesn't feel like we're really executing on anything. Like we were up big early, but we were 6 of 14 for three to begin with. And that's where I'm like, I mean, this has been a common theme in the podcast. Like 3-point shooting masks bad offense. And I think we had seen a lot of bad offense early in that game that we were just making our shots. It sounds stupid, but like when you make your shots, it doesn't necessarily mean you were at a good offensive set. It just means you made your shot. And we saw how that kind of came down the stretch of us literally going on a 6-minute drought without scoring a basket, let alone, and then obviously we missed like 35 free throws in that 6-minute time period as well.
Yeah, for sure. I like what you mentioned about Bryce Lindsey and them needing to find ways to get him open. I was going through the game in my head while you were talking, and there was one play, literally just one in the second half, where I could remember them actually dialing something up, and they had a clear out with, I think it was Duke Brennan underneath, and they slipped it to Askew in the corner, and that was really the one that it turned it around a little bit. It was one where everybody held their breath when he was in the corner. They showed the replay of the fans. They had their hands up with the little 3 onto the dome. That play was really drawn up well from Kevin Willard. But that was going to be my point here. It was really weird to see Kevin Willard, who notably has more adjustments than a chiropractor, he got out coached tonight. And Shaka Smart is a good coach, and that's okay to say that. He's not going to win every coaching battle that he goes against. Shaka Smart or some of the Big E, but he simply got out coached tonight, and it was on both ends of the floor. When they got into foul trouble, they switched to a zone on defense, a 2-3 zone, and they said it on broadcast a little bit, but Marquette absolutely exploited that zone over and over again. They just put Ben Gold in the corner 3 over and over. He had no adjustments for that. Marquette threw a lot of different looks out on the defensive end. You saw Willard. I think Villanova had one timeout with like under 2 minutes left, like to burn, because he just had to keep calling timeouts because he kept getting different looks from Marquette and kept having to readjust, and he couldn't keep up with Shaka Smart tonight. And that's a problem. It's not a problem that I'm concerned about in the long term. But it was definitely the case tonight for this team.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So then let's talk about some of the good stuff here. What did we see? Sorry, I just had a brief moment. I was like, are we recording? We're good. It was like, I was like, wait, what's going on? All right, let's talk about some of the good stuff that's going on here. So we talked about some of the bad, but at the end of the day, we won. So you know what? We'll forget about how bad this one was, and we'll just move on with it. some of the good I want to talk about is, I mean, let's just give him his like Tyler Perkins.
Yeah, incredible.
The the growth of Tyler Perkins from last season to this season, but then also from preseason, like not even from preseason, from beginning of non-conference to conference play, and even in this late stretch of conference play. Let me read you Tyler Perkins' numbers over his last 7 games since the Providence game. He's averaging 17 and a half points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists on 45, 37, 71. Like the free throw shooting is still not good because we're terrible at free throw shooting. But like even the numbers don't really do justice to how important he has been this stretch. Besides a Caden Lewis, he's been our best player. I would argue he's been better than Caden Lewis over the last 7 games overall. Caden's had higher peaks, but Tyler has been there every single game. Every single game of the last 7 games for us. Like, it's been outstanding how good he's become. This is what you love about college basketball. You get to see people grow, or you should love, but you know, how things have been going. But you get to see people grow. You get to see them evolve and adapt. Like this time last year, I was like, yeah, Tyler Perkins is like fine. I was just like, he's a fine rotation guard.
Yeah.
Beginning of the year, I was calling him glue guy. Like, yo, he's the best glue. I thought he was like he's a fantastic glue guy. Now we're sitting here, and I'm like, I don't even want to call him an X factor. Like, he is our second best player right now. Like, and we are in the throes of Big East play, and he's our second best player, and like elevating our team to like essentially being the reason we won this game for sure. And the reason that we beat Providence and a bunch of different teams. Like, he's just been outstanding, and it's been offensive rebounding. I mean, he ends the game with standing up. I don't know. I think it was Chase Ross and like getting a huge block. Like, it was just absolutely fantastic. Like, defense by him. His presence has been good. He's been a leader. Like, I have loved what I've seen from Tyler Perkins as someone who like I'll admit I never was anti Tyler Perkins, but I was just like, yeah, he's going to be a rotation player for us, and he's solid. And he's gone from solid to like absolutely great down this stretch, and it's in Big East play, and like it's getting to the stage where I'm just like, I think you can count on Tyler Perkins to be this version of himself in March, which we should be thinking about because we somehow keep winning.
Is it 20th win tonight, right? 20 and 5? 19?
Yeah.
Ah, almost there.
There's still time for the slide.
But yeah, I agree with everything that you just said. I was in the same boat with Tyler Perkins, and I get what you mean when you said he's a glue guy earlier in the season. And even now, I mean, he's not a glue guy. He's not an X factor. He is the factor, especially over the last month. But I mean,
that's a great nickname, Tyler Perkins, the Factor.
The Factor.
Oh,
I like
it's
that.
The Factor. I don't know. We might have something there.
We might. I still got to sue Brendan Housen for taking the Amarillo assassin with him to Iowa. But no, Tyler Perkins has been amazing. I want to give him all of his flowers. Tonight was probably his best game as a Wildcat. Maybe his first game against Penn when he got revenge. I think he had like 30 in that game. He was outstanding. But off the top of my head, this was his most complete game, and he's really doing it all too. He's scoring every time we need a big bucket. We went to Tyler Perkins. Every time we needed leadership, we needed some heart. We needed someone to step up. He's getting the crowd amped up. He's getting boards on the offensive end. Which
where the heck did this offensive rebounding come from?
Right.
Like, I know he's been a decent, but I'm like, he's done it all season, but like I don't know. It's just been they've said it's Josh Hart-esque, and I like cringe because I'm like, that's one-on-one offensive rebounding. Like, there's a reason he's doing it at the NBA level. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I didn't have too much more to add after that. It's just been everything he's doing is impacting winning, and these aren't games that we win last year. He's really taken a step into his role, into leadership. He's the only returner from last year's team to this year's team, and obviously it's a new coach, but this is a masterclass that we're seeing from Tyler Perkins over the last couple of games, and I'm just so happy for him. He's been through it all, and he's stuck with it, and really seems to be paying off for him.
I'm looking at some of his advanced numbers right now. His turnover percentage is 6%. Which for anybody who doesn't know, like what turnover percentage is essentially the number of percent, the percent of possessions that a turnover happens for you over 100 plays. So over 100 plays, it's essentially saying Tyler Perkins will commit 6 turnovers. Your very good guards, like NBA level, like that's like 10%, maybe 9%. 6 is insane. And I know he like doesn't have he's not like a ball handler, but like 6 is still an incredibly low percentage. And for his career, he had 12 for his first year at Penn, 8 for 8 last year, and it's now getting down to 6. Like it's just that's just an incredible number that I'm seeing in front of my screen.
Yeah,
I
42nd in the country in turnover rate.
Yep.
In the country of all players. He's outstanding.
Really, really good. Yeah, I just who Tyler Perkins has become for us is absolutely huge, and I don't have like I just am really, really like impressed with him and what I've seen from him this stretch of games. And as I said, like this feels like something where I think we can begin to count on that in March, which I usually try to hold off and like making these statements of like, okay, like this is something to look for in March, but like he's done this enough in the like it wasn't the first couple of games of Big East, but we're like in the heart of it now. And he's doing this, and I'm like, all right, this just might be what he is right now, and we should count on that. Before I get to more goods, I think this is just a good thing to talk about the flip side of with Bryce Lindsey. With we've kind of alluded to this of we talked about like not getting him the shots in the way that we wanted to or anything like that, but he's in a big slump right now. That's just what it is. The number one thing, and I've seen people say like, oh, he should stop shooting. I don't want him to stop shooting. His value to us becomes almost zero, not zero, that's aggressive, but like he loses so much value if he's not shooting. He's still a threat to shoot. He's still like a very good combo guard who creates like who just creates space for us on the floor. If you take him off and then like okay, obviously like you replace him with Vasquez, we're fine, but like downstream, like the downstream effect of that going to like Jeffrey, who like once I'm going to talk a little bit about Jeffrey later, but just like the downstream effect of him not shooting is worse than what we get with him shooting. He needs to keep shooting the ball. I want him to keep shooting the ball. Find your moments, and for the most part, like I don't think he's been shooting like stupid shots. It's just been he hasn't been making them. He took a shot, like I mean, I think he was trying to go for a kill, like for a dagger shot down the stretch there, but I was okay with it. I was like, honestly, go for this. Like, I was like, I love the confidence to still do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really hoping that one was going to go in.
Yeah.
As soon as he took that, I feel like that really could have helped him turn a corner.
Yeah. And so, like, what I want from Bryce is to keep shooting. Like, I want to see him shooting 6 threes a game for us still. Whatever, like, I don't know what his number is on the season, but I feel like it's probably about 6 that he's shooting a game. Keep doing that. Keep working at that. And then I think we're going to be like, it's going to break for him because he's too good of a shooter to keep shooting this poorly. He might not go back to like the 45 he was shooting, but like if he gets to 35, 36, like over like the next stretch of games, like we're going to be fine. And I'm just like, this is going to be him. I'll say it like this. For us to win a tournament game, we need a Caden to keep playing the way he's been playing, Tyler to keep doing this, one of Brendan or Askew to show up, and like Lindsey to kind of start making threes. I don't think we need Bryce Lindsey to be the Bryce Lindsey who was in the beginning of the season. We just need him to continue to stretch the floor and give the threat of being able to shoot. And the second he stops shooting and people are like, oh, he's scared to, then they can start helping off of him, and that condenses the floor. That makes it tougher for Lewis to get to the rim. It makes it tougher for Brendan to have space to maneuver in the post. So Bryce Lindsey, my message to you, keep shooting.
Yeah, he has to. It stinks that, I mean, the Big East is obviously having a bit of a down year, but there's really no cupcakes left on the schedule to get his way to shoot out of this a little bit. Over the last month, he was shooting 23% from 3. We turned the calendar into February. 0 for 6 against Georgetown, 1 for 6 against Marquette. He's averaging 7 3-point attempts per game. He has to. he has to find a way to shoot his way out of this. He's been horrendous, frankly, from
Yeah.
beyond the arc over the last month, but he's still shooting 38% from three on the season, which it's I'm not one. I'm not big on moral victories or consolation prizes, but to be as bad as he's been recently and still be shooting 38% from three
Yeah.
on the season, that just goes to show you how well he was stroking it early on in the year. And he has the capability to get back to who he is. He's an outstanding shooter. And to your point a little bit, if he keeps taking and making these shots, it's going to open up the offense in so many more ways. They don't respect him right now. When we saw, I think for the first time tonight, I saw teams doing it consistently, but when they run that pick and roll at the top of the key with Pierce or Brennan, the
Yeah.
guys were going underneath the screen
Yep.
when Bryce Lindsey got the ball, and they would never do that
Yeah.
early on in the season. So when that happens, he's got to take these shots, and he'll snap out of it. It's not a bold prediction for me to say that. He's an outstanding shooter. He's going to come out of this slump. I don't know if he'll get back to the form he was in the beginning of the year, but it's not going to be these 1 for 6, 0 for 6 performances all the way down the stretch. He's too good for that.
It's way too good for that. One thing I want to call out with this is his 2-point percentage has been also a thing to like worry about. And to be like, I don't want to say to be fair, but like he's shooting over his last 9 games, which is about when the stretch of stink happened because he dropped 18 versus Butler and then it was Creighton. And since then he's been kind of just doo doo. He's 7 for 26 from two, shooting 30 or 27% from 2-point percentage. Like that is just terrible as compared to before that. He was shooting, and I'm like letting this load really quickly. And I haven't included the Marquette game in this, it hasn't updated, but he was shooting 52% from two, which is like he's literally doubling or cutting in half how bad he's been. So this is like it's not just a 3-point shooting. He should keep shooting, but then also we need to make it easier for him with backdoor cuts or anything like that to get him shots at the rim just so he can start to see the ball go down. Because the thing that he doesn't get a lot of is free throws because a lot of his game is just shooting from three. So he's not getting fouled that often. He got downhill once in today's game, and it was a fast break that he smoked the layup on. And like that's where it's like, all right, like this is where you get a little bit worried.
Yeah, he got clobbered too.
Yeah, he did. He also did get fouled. Some of the positive. Oh wait, also this is wild. I didn't know he played. Oh, he played. Never mind, ignore me. He played 40 minutes versus UConn, and I forgot UConn was overtime. So I was like, wait, he played every second of the UConn game. So some of the other positive things that I saw from this game, number one, like there's kind of two. Of our bench players. Malachi Palmer started like good, but I'm not going to talk too much about Malachi Palmer. I think we've kind of seen him take a turn this season, Palmer, and like he's kind of become like 7th man, I'd say right now. And like when he's confident, like I'm like, all right, I like what Malachi Palmer has to bring to us. But I want to talk about Chris Jeffrey. He did not do anything super special today, but like his passing, like none of it turned into like buckets because it was Brennan getting fouled, but he was able to find Brennan multiple times with very high velocity passes coming off like screens. And I'm like, I did not realize. I think I said this in the beginning that I was surprised with his passing, like at the beginning of the season, but like it's continued to just impress me. I'm happy to see him back there. I didn't know that he'd come back. I thought we were going to lose him for the season after a knee surgery. I hear knee surgery. I'm like, all right, they're done for the year. Like that just seems to be what it is. So he's back. So he's either it wasn't that I shouldn't say that serious, but he's either that or he's bionic and he's already good. But I really liked what I've seen from him. I feel confident with him on the floor, and the more that he's on the floor, the more confident he gets in this game. Like he's going to give stuff to us offensively. As of right now, I think he's just more of like a defensive kind of like move the ball, keep everything flowing. But like I've liked what I've seen from him.
Yeah, 100%. I'll go back to just touch on it for a sec. I love Malachi Palmer's game. When we gave our season previews, You had Bryce Lindsey as your guy. I had Malachi Palmer as my guy.
Yeah.
I absolutely love his game. There isn't a corner three that I think I've seen him miss all year. It's just hit the low trajectory shot that just barely grazes over the rim and slaps the net every time. Yeah, Malachi Palmer's been awesome. Rebounding, passing, shooting. It's been a huge boost off the bench, and that's good to see. But yeah, Chris Jeffrey's been awesome. You brought it up, the high velocity passes, dude. You seen the arms on that young man?
Yep.
It starts to make sense. The high velocity passes. We need to get him in some shoulder pads. Villanova's thinking about moving up to the FBS level. He would be a good option to have at quarterback. I mean, the kid's jacked, but
I think Longino still has eligibility. We can get him back.
Yeah, 100%. You know, he played quarterback. But yeah, Chris Jeffrey has been awesome. The passing was, I didn't even have him nabbed as a passer coming out of high school. That wasn't even on my radar. He's been an outstanding passer. I think the offense will come. I think right now he's a bit bull in a china shoppy on the offensive end, which will come when you're young and strong and you can get to it like that. But I think the shooting will come. I'd like to see him a little bit. He is active on the glass, but I think he could really be an asset off the glass, especially when they're running that lineup with Hodge as a small ball 5. I think Chris Jeffrey could really make a big impact in there with Malachi Palmer on the floor as well. But yeah, he's been outstanding. This Jeff Nyberg sent a tweet out. It was something along the lines of like, the depth on this team has gone from a strength to a weakness and now back to a strength. When Duke Brennan gets in foul trouble, or God forbid he gets injured, the depth behind him. Braden Pierce I do want to give Braden Pierce.
That's the next thing I'm going to say.
Yeah, a flower, not all the flowers. I want to give him a flower.
Yeah.
I want to give him a flower. He's gone. He's become an okay back. I'll say that. Like I'm not going to say he's setting the world on fire, but he is doing a lot more in the screen and roll game. He's actually active on the offensive end, and he's made a couple shots. So I do want to give Braden Pierce a little credit, but it would be a spot where Tafara Gapare really could have shined this year.
Yep.
I think Zion Stanford, he's not a big, but he is bigger and could slot in. I thought that he was going to be more of an asset than he's been this year. I don't know what's going on with him. But the depth was a big question mark. And now with guys like Jeffrey and Palmer and those kind of guys stepping up, it's been we're back to a strength on the depth part, I'd say.
Yeah, I was texting with a buddy. I want to just give Pierce a flower, like you said. I was texting with a buddy, and he said, "Not gonna lie, I see some improvement with Pierce." And that was the first thing I was like, "Yeah." And like when he's gone from, okay, you can play Pierce for 2 minutes in the game, and then that's it, to where like you can put him out there for like 7 minutes, 8 minutes total, and it's like he's not hurting us. And I'm like, that's positive for like that's a positive. Like I didn't love it down the stretch with like foul trouble. I'd still like to see him almost become like a little more aggressive rebounding. It's kind of like he's more of like knocking the ball around, but his screening has been like much improved. He's like done a very good job of like creating space. Like he's actually a very, very good screener. Which has let like I think him and Caden have like a little bit of synergy there where like he creates space and like Caden creates space with anybody, it seems like. But I've liked what I've seen in the screening actions with him. So like I agree. A flower to Braden Pierce.
Yeah.
All right. So we didn't fuck it up. We won. So as we think about down the stretch here, what do you think are some of our keys just down the stretch of the next stretch of games we have, which I'm pulling that up right now. We have Creighton on the road.
Yep.
Xavier on the road, Connecticut, Butler. We're going to go through this next 4 stretch of games. What would you say is one of the keys, things you want to see from us in that time period?
So I want to see 3 wins out of that stretch. And to be honest with you, I think the Connecticut game we'll get to it, but I think that game is pretty winnable. But yeah, this Creighton game, I want back, man. I want that back so bad. This is like the whole like with from 6 minutes to 3 minutes left in this Villanova game tonight, I was thinking to myself, I was like, we thought the Creighton loss was going to be bad. This Marquette loss is going to hit like a sack of bricks here soon. Um, but this Creighton game coming up is going to be really interesting. I'm I'm looking forward to that. Creighton, they've lost 3 of their last 4. They lost to Marquette, they lost to UConn, which will happen. They lost to Georgetown, and then they had a 1-point home win against Seton Hall, who has been sputtering a bit themselves. So I think we're catching Creighton at a good time. Some keys, I would say, down the stretch, like we mentioned a little bit before, we need to get Bryce Lindsey back going. This is past due. This is a past
Yep.
due task to get Bryce Lindsey back going. But over this next 4, it'll be critical because I mean we're running out of time in the regular season. It's almost Valentine's Day, and that's when teams you really find your identity around Valentine's Day going into the postseason. So we need to get Bryce Lindsey going. I think we need to get Matt Hodge going a little bit more. He hasn't been bad per se, but I think he can really impact a game with his shooting. He hasn't been shooting as much. I don't think he's been as active on the glass, and he's still just a neutral defender in my eyes. So I think Matt Hodge getting going again would be really beneficial for this team. Jeffrey, Palmer, Lewis, Perkins, just stay the same. Keep on doing what you're doing. But yeah, I think as a team, Willard's going to have these guys ready to go. I don't think he's going to get out coached a lot in this stretch. Of course, Hurley's going to throw some intricate stuff their way, but he handled it well the first time.
Yeah.
Get these guys in a gym, lock them in the gym, and shoot free throws. That's my key.
Yeah, that just seems to be that's the key. I'm trying to think of looking at the schedules right now. For me, like, I mean, I agree with okay, he didn't play. I agree with everything that you've said. I think the like larger thing is like I'm gonna put my Bilotti hat on. There are 2 more good wins on the for us here. Connecticut and St. John's. Like we get those are quad 1 wins, probably quad 1A for both of them because they're Connecticut's top 10 at home and St. John's is on the road. Those will be quad 1A win opportunities. After that, it gets a little bit dicey. Like Xavier's like a quad 2 win if we get there, no matter what. Creighton's right on the precipice of a quad 2 win or quad 1 win because I think they're 76th in the net or around there. So they're right before. But basically, I look at this stretch and I say, like, okay, we're almost into like, and this is where the Marquette game would have been bad. Like, we're just in don't fuck it up territory. Like, we should beat both Creighton and Xavier, but like we can afford a split. I think we can afford a split there. Actually, no, I don't think we can. Like I'm just looking at it. I don't think we can. Yeah, no, we really can't. It's we're kind of at like, and I guess we should take a step back because we're saying this, but like, what's our goal at the end of the season? Because as long as if we protect home court versus Butler and Xavier, I would argue we probably still get into the tournament as a bubble team. So I'm saying like our magic number is 2. If we like, and that's if and we can't lose to DePaul. That's the third one we can't do. So we can't lose to DePaul. But like if we were
quad 2 DePaul,
yeah, I'm gonna actually. I'm on T rank. I'm gonna do it right now, and this is like the worst case scenario where we lose to everybody but Butler, DePaul, and Xavier. Where does this have us? And basically, what the reason I'm saying this is like for us, we just have to think of the opportunities that are in front of us to like put us square ahead. It has us as a 10 seed. If we win like if we protect home court, and then we not including Connecticut, and then beat DePaul. So like we are more or less in the tournament. Like that's just kind of like they called us a lock, despite not having like the great wins. We're more or less in the tournament. But like I'm sitting here. And as we think about like what the team's goal is, what is our goal for this season? It's coming into the season was like who knows? Then eventually once we realize like, oh, let's make the tournament. Now we're going to make the tournament, and like people keep pushing it further and further, which is just natural for us to do. But I just sit back and I think, okay, well, what are we trying to accomplish? Are we obviously like the team is trying to become the best team that we can do, but like what's realistic in our own view of these accomplishments for this team? Is it like are we thinking that this is a team that can win the Big East? Like not the regular season because that seems that's out of the picture, but the tournament, like is that what we're like aiming for? Is it hey, we want to get to Philadelphia like as a fan base? Like where are we taking this? Because that's kind of comes where like my thought process of can we afford to split Creighton and Xavier? We can. We can afford to lose both of them. I'm kind of showing that here. But like to what extent and to what end like is the team's is our goal for this team? You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like a weird
Right.
thought process, but yeah.
No, I totally get that. I am worried about both of those games. This Marquette game was a quad 3 win, which is
Yeah.
crazy when we talk about Marquette. But both the Creighton and Xavier games will be quad 2 because they're both on the road. Then we play Xavier again at home, and that'll be a quad 3 game, which makes sense. But I think the two big games, there we go, are obviously UConn and St. John's coming up. We have UConn at home, St. John's on the road on the 28th of February, and that's gonna those two we don't need to win one of them, but as it stands, our quad 1 record is 3-4. If we win one of those, obviously we go to 4-5. But I mean, this Butler away win is hanging on by a thread. They're 73 in the net right now. So if they continue their trajectory, that'll turn into a quad 2 win. That'll leave us with 2 or 3 quad 1 wins. I don't know. It's all math and analytics right now.
I mean, win the games. Win the games. Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all I'm trying to say at the end of the day. We just need to win these games. Take care of the games that we should win.
Yeah.
We should. We're Villanova is a better basketball team than Creighton. They're a better basketball team than Xavier. Same thing goes for DePaul and Butler.
Yeah.
And we have those down the stretch. Take care of business there. See if we can sneak one against St. John's or UConn, because we're not better basketball teams than those two. And see where it takes us. I liked your thought experiment there about what do we want as a fan base, because I do think this team is squarely in the tournament, but I think it was Lenardi that called it a lock. I don't like calling it a lock.
It feels weird too, but like kind of yeah, it just feels weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm just gonna do the terrible situation of what if we lost every game?
Oh, I did that the other day. We miss it.
We miss it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know with Marquette now.
Let's see. First team out.
Really?
Is what it has us with is first team out.
Magic numbers 1, baby.
Yeah, magic numbers 1, baby.
That's crazy. I love that tool. Although if we lose out, we're not.
Yeah, if we lose out, I don't want to be in the tournament. I'm going to be on a flight to the pavilion. Yeah, we lose out. That was I'm going to crash out hard. I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm going to go pure Isaiah Stewart on Kevin Willard.
That was crazy.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Nice takedown attempt from Miles Bridges, though. He ducked the right hook from Stewart.
He did, and then it just got him in like a little noogie position.
It was a takedown attempt. It was not. We're not giving him points for the full takedown.
But kind of whipping around some other stuff. While we were playing some basketball versus Marquette, some news about some future basketball came out. So earlier today, it was reported that we would be doing a home and home versus Notre Dame, which I know some people had heard the scuttlebutt about that earlier, and then there was conversations about where it's going to be played. It seems as if, I don't know if both games are, but at least one is going to be played at the Vatican, or in Rome, I should say. I don't know if it's actually at the Vatican. I saw someone share the arena, but we will be having the Pope Bowl. We're gonna be playing for the Pope. Notre Dame, we're gonna be playing Michael Shrewsbury next year, which actually is kind of like, that's a kind of sick recruiting tool. It's like, no, you got to come to Italy. We're gonna go play the Pope to kick off the season, like right. Or play for the Pope to kick off the season. I'm trying to figure out where they said it was going to be. But any thoughts on that?
I hope it's outdoors, like they did on the aircraft carrier. Should put it
I've
right in
been
the Vatican. That'd be
just
sick.
like I need that. I absolutely need that.
Right?
Um, we haven't done that in a while. Like the or one, we haven't done an international game in a while, but they stopped the what's it called, the outdoor game of air carrier one, and I just
Yeah.
need like everybody's played basketball outside, even if it's an exhibition. Just like let's get the feeling back. I want some outdoor basketball.
Screw it. Put it in the Coliseum. I don't give a shit.
Honestly,
Shrewsbury versus Braden Pierce. Cinema. No, but I love it. You're right. It is a cool recruiting tool. Any chance you get to travel abroad with your teammates, that's special.
Yeah.
It
And
builds. Yeah.
also to be clear, we're placing it's men and women that are both playing there. Just to like be clear to
Oh,
everybody.
really?
Yeah, yeah, it's the men and the women.
Wow,
Which
that's
means
cool.
the men versus us is gonna be great, and then we're gonna get smoked by Notre Dame women. But
Is Hannah Hidalgo? What year is she?
Sophomore.
She'll be back though, right?
She's barring a transfer. Yeah.
Yeah. Geez.
Junior, but still.
Hopefully the men take care of business. I love it. I love playing against Notre Dame. That old school feel. I like teams like Notre Dame. When we talk about adding teams like we talked about this last episode, I think, but when we talk about adding teams like Dayton and St. Louis, I'm out on that. Give me the Syracuses, give me the Notre Dames, give me some big names. Anytime you get to play against big names, it's cool. I don't know where this game is going to be held, but I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun.
There was I'm gonna pull it up. I can see if I can find it. It's Is this what it is? My Italian is how do you say terrible?
Better than your New Zealand accent.
Better than my New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
I think it's the Palazzo dello Sport is where it's going to be played at. For my Italians, I don't know. Go ahead, tell me what I said wrong. But I believe that's where it's going. I feel like that's where I saw it's going to be played, which is where Virtus Roma 1960 plays. So I don't know who that is, but I believe that's where it's going to be played. But we'll see. I'm sure that's still fungible at the moment. But yeah, I'm excited for this. It's a cool recruiting tool for both like the men and the women. And this is just kind of, this is kind of the weird situation where like, well, the Pope's not, I almost said the Pope's Catholic. The Pope went to Villanova, so we have like a weird opportunity here. Well, the Pope's Catholic, so.
Any chance you get to throw Villanova's name out internationally and kind of showcase the school in this light, I think is cool. I have nothing else to add to that. I don't know where I was going with that.
All right, no.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
All right. So the last thing I wanted to do today was kind of hit us with a little bit of Villanova trivia once again.
Sick. Okay.
But I'm gonna Tommy, I'm gonna throw a wrench at you. We're not gonna talk about this year's team. We're gonna go back to the first year of the Neptune era.
Oh God.
Or go back to yesteryear.
Okay.
My challenge to you is, can you name 5 losses we had that year?
Neptune's first year?
Neptune's first year. And there's a reason I'm asking it.
Oh my God. Okay. So
actually,
wait. Are we not counting conference losses? Because like I could probably say like UConn,
not conference losses. So I should have been better. Can you name the 5 non-conference losses that we had?
Okay. First year was the PK invite, right?
Yep.
So we lost to Portland because Gonzaga just lost to Portland.
Which is why it was top of mind for me. It's like Gonzaga just lost to Portland, and I wanted to kind of spend some time talking through that.
The Portland Pilots.
Yep.
God, did we play Oregon?
We did. We lost to Oregon that next game.
Nice. I have no idea who we played in the first round or the second round, to be honest with you.
So Portland was the second round. Oregon was the third. Our opening game, we lost in overtime.
Opening game, we lost in overtime.
Yep. On Thanksgiving. No, that's fun.
Oh, is that Iowa State?
Iowa State, and maybe it wasn't.
Shout out Eugene Rapay.
Yeah,
The Iowa State beat reporter. I remember that. I was looking forward to that game. And then we lost a Big Five game that year. We lost to St. Joe's, right?
No, we beat St. Joe's.
We beat St. Joe's.
We lost to Temple that year, second game of the season.
Oh my God, I was at that game.
Yep, it was the Temple game.
Caleb Daniels down the stretch.
Yep.
Oh God, trigger warning. Gosh, I don't know the last one. I don't know the last game.
The last one, I think people sometimes think this was year 2, Michigan State.
Oh, that was at Michigan State.
It was at Michigan State. Dixon had the corner 3 off the pin down that he couldn't get down. We lost by 2.
That's right. Yeah, That was a lot closer than I thought, and he like kind of bricked it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We don't need to talk about it. Hey, he just got traded.
He did just get traded. Yeah, he just got traded to a little G League trade, which is always fun. He's playing with Tyler Burton again, though, who also just had 40 for the Memphis Hustle. So shout out Eric Dixon. But also, I think that's also a better spot because Memphis is very clearly like cleaning house. So there's opportunity for him to like potentially get like called up in minutes. And so it's a young Memphis team now.
I love that. Good for him. I hope he finds his footing. He's super talented.
Yeah. All right. So I have a bit of a hard stop here. So we're gonna wrap this up. But is there anything else you wanted to kind of finish up with, Tommy, though?
No. I think Villanova's just got to stay the course. Wrapping up this episode, it was an ugly win, but it's a win. And that's all that matters. In 2 weeks, we're not going to remember this game as sourly as we do now. So glad they were able to get the win, and look forward to this next tranche of games.
Yeah. So we will be back. And I'd just like to give a shout out to, once again, Tyler Perkins, The Factor. I think we might be able to get that to work. I think The Factor might work.
The Factor.
And maybe even put like a 4 for it for like The Factor. I don't know. I'm just throwing some stuff out there. But Tyler Perkins, The Factor. Thanks y'all for listening. Thanks y'all for we're gonna have a fun season. Actually, this is an aside, and I'm saying this live on the podcast so people can yell at us, and so we have to do it. I kind of want to do like a live watch of the what's the word I'm looking for? The bracket release, so we can like live react to our bracket. I'm saying this over the airwaves so everyone can hear it and be like, oh, let's do that. So expect that.
I'm down.
Assuming we make it, assuming we don't lose in every game down the stretch.
Oh God, knock on wood.
All right. Oh, thanks y'all for listening, and as always, let's go Nova.